Blu-ray and Jamba the two hosts. If I may, I'm thinking that you chose the best thing if you like them nerd shows and all of these movies. What up, Chipper Chap? This is Chipper Chap Chat.
What up, Chipper Chaps? This is Chipper Chap Chat, episode 169.
Yes.
Oh, shit. I am Fu Ray,
I'm Chamba.
and we're going to talk about some comic nerdy movie, comic booky stuff today. We got a kind of a lot, I guess. For
Kind of. We
throwing
got
up
a
bunch of
list.
stuff
We got a list of
yesterday.
things to go
It's
through.
it's a jumbled list, though,
Yeah.
because it's from everywhere and whatnot.
It's fine.
What's the first thing we're talking about? Comics?
Comics Fugot. You got some
Comics.
comics.
Who got these ones are the best. All right. I don't know if these ones are the best ones I got, but last time I got a stack, and these were the ones that I couldn't remember. I got two Captain America books at random, because they had a number one of Captain America: Symbol of Truth, and it very much looked like they're basing it on the
Oh,
Mackie.
that is straight up Mackie, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's Silva drawing
Does it
it.
look like that inside the book?
I think in the book
Because sometimes on
it's
the
not
cover.
as spot on.
Oh well, I mean it's closer though. But because sometimes on a
Right.
cover they'll make it look like a movie tie-in or some shit, and then inside
Right,
it's
and then
like,
it's
nah,
not that.
psych, it's not. We just did it for the cover.
Nah, but they show his because now that he's Captain America in this book,
Mm-hmm.
he's got his own Falcon sidekick homie.
Okay, what's his name?
He's Falcon.
Okay, cool. He's a
He's
Falcon.
the Falcon now that the other guy's Cap. But he's got like organic like bird wings. So I'm curious how that
Is
works
he a
and how
mutant?
he doesn't get his shit fucking blown off or whatever. I actually don't know the character. The character that has these wings or whatever though is his like sidekick homie that shows up
In the
in
show?
in the show. Remember he has
Yeah,
that like
yeah,
military
yeah,
friend
yeah.
like little homie that's like helping him and shit.
Uh-huh.
That's the guy who is this. Yeah, or at least he shares the name.
Okay. It'd be cool if that guy shows up again, because it's like, hey, we set it up, bro.
Yeah, it'd be cool if they did
Yeah,
something with it.
yeah. I'm
Um,
still curious
but
about the
yeah, this
organic
book.
wings, though. That's a little.
Yeah, there's a scene where he's, flying around and there's bombs going off like you would normally see Falcon do, but you're like, in my head at least, I'm like, especially when you see shots like this where something's blowing up behind Falcon and then his like wings and shit are on fire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how does that work if you're the one that has the organic wings?
Question,
Like,
right?
is your shit just gone?
Organic wings, is it actually. Where's it attached to? His arms? His back? Is it like
It
archangel
looks
wings?
It looks like they are attached to the arms themselves. Look at this shot. It kind of looks like they're coming like straight out of the biceps or whatever
Oh, so
here.
they're part of his arm. How is
Yeah.
he wearing gloves?
I don't know. It seems like they just kind of stop at the forearm and then the
You know what?
I don't know.
I know it's comics and we're supposed to like kind of wane our belief and whatnot,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
that's unless it's like told, unless they showed it, previous issues. It's like, hey, it's kind of a living thing and it just kind of grows in itself. Then right now it's kind of hard to understand it.
You can tell the artist at some point just decided
I
I'm
don't
just gonna
care.
draw it where it connects, where the line connects and where it looks good,
Yeah,
not where it makes sense that
I
would
can't do it. My
anatomically
brain
work.
can't work that way though.
It's hard. It's
He's such a
hard.
great artist too.
hmm but yeah, so I thought story was okay. I don't really know how that character works, if he's a mutant or whatever. I don't know his
Okay.
deal. But at the end of it, they set up the White Wolf character coming back into play. So I wonder if this is the comic version, not the MCU version, but I wonder if maybe that's some setup just to get the name White Wolf back in the
Into the yeah,
rotation.
yeah.
Because they got Wakanda Forever coming up, and Sebastian Stan's character is always like, you know, Wakanda connected.
Is he gonna rock up? Do you think he's gonna be like
Uh,
a person
at
that
this
rocks up
point,
that they've not announced, which would be pretty cool in a way?
I mean, it's happened before. He was at the end of the first one, so to have him show up in the second one would connect that thread.
And he is like
Um,
a bigger connection to Wakanda than almost anybody else.
right.
That's not
And
from Wakanda.
where else do you go with that character at this point, if not to like establish more clearly what the White Wolf thing is about?
I'd be down if
And
he's
then I
just White
guess
Wolf.
maybe throw him on the Thunderbolts. I don't know if he's on the Thunderbolts or gonna fight the
Okay,
Thunderbolts, but I'm sure he's gonna be something to do with that.
cool.
And the other comic I got though is it just says Captain America on it. And so I'm assuming it's like an annual or
I
something.
was
It's
gonna
got
say
like
it.
a
It,
big
it
ass
feels like an.
fucking like everybody's on it
Is that
cover,
Brooks?
forward and backward. Yeah, this one's Brooks. I guess there's a bunch of variant covers, but it's got fucking like everybody who's relevant now in the MCU is on this shit, like fucking US Agent. They've had Zola and a bunch of shit. Fucking Namor's about to drop in
Mm-hmm.
this hoe. Crossbones already showed up. Shuri's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking who they got on this side? They got fucking Agent Carter, the one that's like what is she now? The power broker or
Yeah,
whatever the
yeah,
fuck
yep,
she's
yep,
going
yep,
by.
yep, yep.
Zemo up here, fucking MODOK's supposed to be an Ant-Man. I can't wait to see what the fucking live action version of that is.
Just a friggin' joke
Anyway,
face.
but the inside art of this, I can't say I've never seen anything like it. I've seen things that hint at things like this, but it's just very unique looking. I don't know if it'll capture it correctly on the camera here,
Oh yeah, yeah.
but
It's
it's
like
sort of
no
like
lines. It's painted. Barely any
it.
outlines.
It does have lines, but they're hella
Yeah,
thin,
it's like
hella
barely.
hella
That's what I mean. It's
thin.
like barely there. It looks more painted than anything else.
Yeah, it almost looks like he's trying to go for like
And Alex
an
Rossi.
Alex
Mm-hmm.
Ross, but but when you're actually seeing it, it's not like when it's
Mm.
not blurry like it is on the camera. You can actually see the line art. It kind of
Okay.
reminds me
Looks good.
um of Mike Choi when he was
Okay.
doing stuff like that super thin thing. But the shots themselves and the lighting and stuff is super like cinematic. You
Very
can already
cinematic.
like see how that would work on film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's almost like
Like I'm sure
storyboards.
this guy,
Who's the
yeah, I'm
artist?
sure this guy gets snatched up. I can't his I've never heard of him before. Let me go to where the thing is, but I'd never heard of this guy before. Let me see if it's at the end. Okay. Matia de Iulis. I meant to look
Mm.
him up, so I'm glad you asked. But I want to look him up and see what other stuff he does, because his
I'm
stuff in here is crazy
really
good.
curious to know how long something like this takes these artists.
Me too, and because like you can tell with stuff like this one,
Mm.
especially because like when you can see the actual line art in there, you like I can see how drawing that would happen, especially because it's really open lines. Almost all the like rendering and stuff is in the like it looks
In
like
the
they
render.
painted it on grayscale
Yep.
or something and then just drop colors on top.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like especially because he's listed as just the artist as this. He's doing this all himself.
Yeah, yeah. It makes
I just
also it makes sense if he is just doing it all himself. I don't really see a color artist hopping onto those lines and just working off unless they show us
right
what the
and
lines
just
look like.
magically
Yeah.
he landed on that look
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. You
I
have unless
but
they're
I
like,
also
full on
feel
collaborators and that's just how they work, but yeah.
like this shot is pretty
That's
crazy
very
of
cool.
like them blowing some shit up. But I also, because of how I look at this shit, I can see some evidence of how they like cut corners
Oh
or
no, no.
you try to make
I
things easier for
I was
themselves.
gonna say because he's doing it himself as well. He
Hmm.
knows what shots to put more focus on. Whereas
Yep.
a lot of the background shots that look amazing,
Hmm.
it's all in effect to look that way because you can almost skimp out on doing all the crazy detail because you know what parts are going to be covered by effects, dust, smoke,
Hmm.
lighting.
Yep.
Very, very.
Exactly. Does smoke lighting, and you can tell that their references as far as what they wanted the like
The
color and shit to
yeah,
look like is
yeah,
very like movies. I want
yes.
it to look like photography.
It's very real
Um,
world base,
yeah.
like
And
heightened, heightened.
I would be hyper surprised if they didn't use this guy for
For
more
more?
stuff.
Oh yeah. You know what kind of bothers me
Uh,
sometimes though? I look at stuff like
hmm.
this and I'm like, I hope this guy got some of the cover work as well.
The covers were done by the actual main covers were done by Alex Ross for these.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they definitely were like, this is the look that this
Yeah.
guy's going for. We're gonna throw the big guy at the cover,
I'm hoping
and like
eventually though
this is the vibe.
that some of the interior guys get some of the cover work as well because there's a lot of work in cover works these days, but then they don't do interiors. Like comics
That
is
is
weird these
true.
days. Comics is really weird. It's almost like the 90s again, where
Yeah,
there's a ton of old variant covers. And then you pick up the book, you look inside, you're like, huh? Wish the interiors either look like this, or I knew what the interiors were gonna look like based on the cover because I would have picked it up had I known what the interiors look like.
I think I've heard that issue with almost everybody that goes into a comic shop of like, oh, I picked something up because of what the cover looked like. I looked inside and I was disappointed. Or, but sometimes you get the opposite of
Oh,
that.
of course.
You're like, I picked a thing up, not really suspecting anything, and the inside artwork was fucking bananas.
Yeah,
I've had that
yeah,
happen more than a couple times, and that's created fans out of me.
for
Like,
sure, for sure.
uh, you know, I think that's one of the best parts about digging for those things is looking for that surprise. But I do remember as me personally dealing with Spider-Man books, is I'd be like, wow, look at the cover art on this shit, and then you pick it up and you're like, wow, this is doo-doo. Or you go to a book looking for an artist specifically, and he's not on any of the covers, and you're like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
It's like it used to bother me when they would put anybody but Ramos on a Ramos book for the cover. It's
Uh-huh.
like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm like, you
You're
have
telling the
Ramos.
artwork
Yeah.
based on that artwork.
Also,
You know?
the interiors are phenomenal. And the thing
Yeah,
about the
exactly.
cover is, okay, don't get me wrong, there's some amazing covers these days. But unfortunately, for me at least, have the cover at least represent what's the interior. Even if
Like
it's
the vibe of it or
the
something,
vibe, yeah, like if it's too far off, like you're not gonna have. It'd be strange for an Alex Ross, amazing, to do a cover for a Ramos book.
That would be bizarre, because and yeah, that would be really
Right?
bizarre.
Like
I
that's what I
wonder what the
mean. Like it's
circumstance would
like,
be.
but and then I see sometimes where the cover's awesome. I look inside and I'm like, oh, this book feels rushed.
Mhm.
Like,
And I feel like sometimes with artists like this guy, which I have to go and see
oh
what
yeah,
other stuff he's
I'm
done.
real curious now.
But I feel like sometimes with artists like this guy where they have like a painty
Hmm.
look, I feel like sometimes if they do the covers, you're like, wow, these covers are insane. And then you go in and you're like, they clearly didn't have enough time to get all these sequentials
Yeah,
to look like that.
yeah, yeah.
However, this guy, there's a lot of polish. Even though there's a lot of, you can tell, like, I'm just gonna put some fog and stuff in front
But
of some of these
I dig
background
that though.
details. And
I like that because he knows what's important. He knows what the important
exactly.
part to focus on the page.
Yeah.
Like whenever like during conventions, right? When we
Hmm.
do commissions and whatnot. Um this the whole piece can actually be a little bit loose. But if the face
Hmm.
is neat and tidy and clean and polished, it
Hmm.
almost doesn't matter how loose you get further out.
It's true too.
And it's also for effect. It looks better most times. It's
Hmm.
just so long as you get the focus there.
I mean that's how, you know, umpteen portrait artists have fucking made their living in
Yeah.
the, Comic-Con circuit is just getting mad good at drawing faces. You don't have to spend as much time on the rest.
I hate it though
But
because
it works.
I notice everything else and I'm like, oh, that arm is bad. Oh, that arm is off. I'm
But
like,
this,
no, that anatomy is off. The face is, but here's the thing: the face is standard. It's fine. It
right,
sells it. But that
right.
angle, you could have done something else, and then you see the arm, and you're like, no. I don't know.
Yeah, I can think of a few
Yeah.
even kind of bigger name
Oh yeah,
guys
no,
that
that's
have
what I
go
mean. I'm
through
just
that.
like,
But
that's whatever. They're making
yeah,
their mad dollars.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. They're
mad
they're
dollars
proving they're
too.
right.
Mad
They're
dollars
proving they're
too.
right.
Yeah. So that's all you got comic
Anywho,
wise? That sounds good.
so that's the only ones I skipped out on. Another time we can re-go over like the Radiant Black stuff and talk
Yeah, yeah,
about that artfully.
totally.
But yeah, those were the two I missed out on.
Okay, next topic. She-Hulk.
Oh snap!
Yeah, I didn't realize we could have gifts, so I was
Um,
like, tight.
so this one is about the day movie, right?
Yes, yes, finally,
Yeah.
which
So
is makes sense. It was strange of
yeah.
Disney to release two new shows on the same day on your own platform.
I don't know when the Andor shit is supposed to air,
September.
but okay, so there should be some
I
overlap
think there
then.
is an overlap.
Yeah, so I'm betting that's why they're doing the like this one's going to be on Thursday's thing because it seemed like that one really messed with the numbers on Miss Marvel real bad.
Ms. Marvel and
So
Kenobi was a silly, silly, silly move to put them on the same, and they aired on the same time, as in they
yeah,
premiered
it
on the same
exactly.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, so they both go up at midnight, and people got to make choices on what I'm going to watch before I go to bed. And Star Wars is Star Wars,
I'm glad
and
they
Miss
corrected it
Marvel's
though.
right. Exactly, they're figuring out. Although I do think She-Hulk, just by virtue of like the Hulk is such a like mainstay character, I feel like would have a better shot going up against something Star Wars
Sure,
related than
Ms.
Miss
Marvel.
Marvel did.
Yep.
Miss Marvel being like a character who was created in like 2014 or something. She's new as shit, so her
She,
fan base is
yeah,
is limited.
yeah. She-Hulk has
There's no
lots of.
like 60-year-olds being like, I grew up
Yeah,
reading Miss
exactly. Oh, I
Marvel,
love Miss Marvel as a child.
Right,
It's like,
exactly.
yeah, maybe you did. Maybe you did. Maybe.
But this looks dope to me, man.
I'm looking forward to it.
Everybody's been talking their shit, and there's little things that I think could be improved as far as look, like especially when you see this one of her doing the like
The
Hulk roar.
yeah.
I feel like her biceps aren't bicepy enough.
Mm.
They don't look like if a bodybuilder did that. They
Yeah.
just look like if like a basketball player did
Right.
that or something.
She's
Which
not.
is fine. I know the build they're going
Yeah.
for, but you look at the shot of her that's supposed to be from the same period on the left,
Right.
and she looks like her arms look a little bit
I was
more
gonna say
stocky.
she looks thicker.
Yeah, it's like when she flexes, they tone her down or
Hmm.
something to make her less like scary or
That
masculine or something.
might be it. I'm still weirded out. It's like, hey, her hair's growing. Whatever.
It is bizarre, but
Yeah.
they did it with the Norton one, so maybe they'll make a reference to
Yeah.
that or
Probably.
something.
I don't know. I'm looking forward
But
to this show though. I have been from the
I
start. Yeah. I know we've
I
been looking
very
forward
much
to
am
this. Yeah.
too.
I
I
don't know.
wish
I know
this
people were
was one
complaining
where
about the CG at the start, and I'm just like,
yeah,
it's whatever. It's like, come on, don't let that throw you off.
looks good to
Yeah,
me.
it looks great.
Um, I wonder if this is one. I wish this was one that they put up with like here's two episodes at the start
It's not, is
because
it? Do you know?
I don't. As far as I know, it's just
Hmm.
the first episode we're getting,
Because they're half hour.
and
That's why I was like, at least double drop it.
yeah, exactly. And I feel like maybe that means either something about their schedule because I feel like a lot of the time them dropping the two episodes like they didn't want to they're trying to make it so things don't come out back to
Mm,
back, but that's why they put this to
mm,
Thursday.
mm, mm.
So I'm wondering if like that's why they're like, oh, just put out the one because it's not going to be back to back stuffed with anything else, and I think the character is strong enough to keep people coming back, and maybe the first episode is strong enough to where they think that'll be enough for people to be talking.
I guess.
Um, because all that I've heard about the show is that it's supposed to be like riddled with fucking references and cameos and shit. So
I'm good with that. That sounds real
yeah, where
fun.
did you like Ally McBeal? Because that's one of the shows that this one's getting compared to a lot.
Didn't watch it.
I didn't either. I've seen like little clips and shit from Ally McBeal. I remember the
Mm-hmm.
dancing baby and shit,
Ooh,
but I was never
Gotchaka.
into it.
That one, yeah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I remember that thing. And but that looks fucking terrible. You go back and look at that now, it looks like, a screensaver or something.
Yeah. The thing about
Um,
Ally McBeal that never appealed to me was the fact that it's Ally McBeal. Don't care.
yes, I have the same sentiment, although I would say the fact that I didn't, or the thing that made me not care about Ally McBeal was the person playing Ally McBeal.
That's what I
What was
mean.
it, Callista Flockhart or
That's what
whatever?
I mean.
Uh, That actress, just
There's nothing.
nothing wrong with her,
No.
but I have no interest in whatever she's putting out. I mean,
Exactly.
what was she in last? I feel like fucking Supergirl. She was like
Was
the
she?
Perry White type character in that. That's the last thing I'd seen her in, and the probably the last thing I'd seen her in before that
Was
was
Ally
Ally
McBeal.
McBeal.
Yeah.
So,
Like, the difference
yeah.
being is that, oh, it's She Hulk. Automatically, you've got my attention. Like, if you threw She Hulk in this, in Ally McBeal,
Right.
I probably would have watched Ally McBeal because it was She Hulk.
1000%.
You know what I mean? So, it's like, hey, if people are comparing it to Ally McBeal, guess what? That was a successful show. Good, then.
How do you feel about the idea of it being a half-hour comedy?
I think we've been spoiled, like we kind of are after something lengthier, like 45 to an hour episodes. So
Right.
30 might end up feeling short.
Yeah, I think it's gonna breeze by.
Yeah, I think it's gonna, you'll be like, oh, I want more. But that could be a good
Hmm.
thing. It's like, oh, I want more.
It could be. I feel like
Quick.
it's gonna feel like a teaser every week.
Mm-hmm. This is gonna be good
I
to
re
binge.
Exactly. And I feel like because it's a comedy, I really wonder what the sticking the landing looks
Mm-hmm.
like for a show like this.
But because
Because
it's
in
also,
my brain,
go.
go ahead.
I was like, because it's also a half hour,
Yeah,
I think the way they end it, each episode is gonna make us want more of it. Do you know what I mean?
right.
So
Hmm.
that could be the reason. It could be part of the reason why it's only half hour.
I wonder if they'll do give the ending an hour or something. I don't feel
Mm,
like they didn't really do that for Miss Marvel.
no.
Um, and
Miss-
they didn't really only did that. They did the like thing where the ending episodes got longer and longer with WandaVision, and
mm,
even that one's last episode was only about an hour.
mm, mm, mm.
Um, so I really am curious how the structure of this is gonna work. In my brain, the thing that it makes sense to lean to is they've got to have some sort of rematch with Abomination or something.
Oh, that'd be sick, dude.
Um,
This
but I
show
know
seems
that
effects heavy.
it does, and I heard the budget for each episode's like 20 million or 25 million,
Yeah, this one
which you
looks
would
like it
think
might be
is,
the most expensive one of the lot because of just the character itself.
I would think that. But
Yeah.
then I remember hearing something like something similar to that for it was another superheroes show's budget, like The Flash or something.
Oh,
No, I think it
really?
was the Flash. No, I think they said The Flash had like $4 million an episode, which is still on its own
A lot,
bananas to
but
me.
you can kind of see it. You know.
I think Game of Thrones or something was the one that was in the $20 million
Mm-hmm.
range.
Then you can also see it.
But
I also did hear that each episode's going to have a post credit.
I heard that as well. But I heard they're gonna be, or at least for the first few, are they're all like comedic, which I think is fine. Not every post credit scene has to,
Also, it makes sense for the tone of what they're going for, I guess.
exactly.
It'd be
I
weird if the
do.
post credit was like dead serious when the show itself wasn't.
What do you think the likelihood, if you had to bet on it, that we see like a Deadpool cameo in this, since this is like the first character we're getting in the MCU that breaks the fourth wall?
Not early, maybe down the road.
Right. I would
I
think
think
it
it would
would
make
be like
sense.
last couple
Yeah.
episodes or something, if anything.
It'd be almost funnier as well if it was a post credit.
Exactly.
you
Like,
know?
and because I feel like that this character being the first character in the MCU that does that, it is the perfect place to introduce another character that
Who
does
does
that,
that?
and
Yeah.
how the hell that would work if you have two characters that can take
Oh,
the
that'd be
POV.
great.
Yeah, I'd love to see that how
This
that
looks
would
like it's
work.
gonna be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm like genuinely excited for this one. What else we got?
Rosario Dawson.
Oh yeah, so I don't know if you saw this clip, but I watched the clip of her on stage for this. But Rosario Dawson was on stage at Comic-Con. I think it was C2E2 or something.
Okay.
It was
Yeah, yeah.
something.
Chicago. If
It
for
was
Chicago,
something
C two E
right.
two. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was something right after San
San Diego.
Diego.
Then it was C
But
two E two, I believe.
she was on stage and somebody asked. I don't remember what the question they asked her was, but she was like, "Well, I'm excited because I just found out that John Bernthal is coming back as the Punisher. And they're the Punisher's getting another shot. They're bringing him back." And she was like, "And I'm excited because I want to do that show. Night Nurse never got. That was the only show I didn't get to do, or with the Night Nurse character." And so she was like, "Let's all manifest that and make that a thing." But then afterwards, people were like, "Yo, this hasn't been announced." They started hitting her up, and she was like, "Don't trust me. I just heard that from a fan when I was doing a signing. So I guess don't trust that news or whatever." I got excited and jumped on it, which so I could imagine you would hear stuff like that from a fan at a signing. I heard this,
Mm-hmm.
but who fucking
She
knows if
also
it's real or
knows
not?
probably more than we do. I mean, she does work for Disney with being in Star Wars. She's a Sokotano. She's got her own show.
Exactly. She could
They
have heard
bring
that
that.
backstage.
Oh, that's what I
Who
mean.
knows?
She could have heard it anywhere really and go, "Oh yeah, that's right. My bad." But then at that point as well, I'm like, you've got contracts and stuff, NDAs, and
Hmm.
they let. I know there's like now. I know Disney has implemented like fines and whatnot,
Mm,
and
yeah,
so you say anything that they didn't allow you to say, you're gonna pay. Like not necessarily like we're gonna fire you, but it's gonna cost you. That's gonna
it's
cost
true.
you.
And also, the Daredevil show that they announced, the Born Again, is supposed to be like 18 episodes long or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I could imagine them bringing Bernthal back for that. Like, and here's characters from that Daredevil universe. Like, that would be a perfect place to be like, and he knows Luke Cage and he knows Jessica Jones.
And Peter Parker shows up.
I would love it, dude. I don't want to play with that one too much in my
I know.
mind because I don't
I
want to
don't
get
want
my
to.
hopes up.
I don't want to hurt
But I want to
myself.
I want a Daredevil and Spider-Man adventure so badly. So I've
Well,
had a couple of my favorite books where
didn't
Spider-Man and
didn't
Daredevil team ups.
didn't Feige when he was talking about all those the different levels of MCU,
Yeah,
he
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 did
threw
say
those names
Spider-Man
together in
is.
a street level.
I like that he said Spider-Man will be joining those characters in the street level now. To me, joining those characters does imply that those are the characters he would run across, and have again like having Bucky in the first Black Panther. It makes sense to have him show up in Black Panther 2. Having Matt Murdock show up in the most recent Spider-Man seems like it would be a non sequitur unless you see him again in whatever the next Spider-Man is.
Or vice
So I,
versa.
I
You see
hope that's the
Spider-Man
case.
in Daredevil.
I only don't
That's
think
wild.
that would
I know.
happen because the Sony thing. I think
Yes.
like it would have to be them throwing him into a Spidey
Of
flick
course, of course. It would
because
make more
just
sense that
because of the
way.
Sony
Yep.
thing.
It would make way more sense that way.
But yeah, here and bringing Bernthal back makes sense. They brought D'Onofrio back. They brought Matt back. The only one I'm like, will they?
It won't be Iron
Is
Fist.
Iron Fist.
No, no. They're not doing that.
But I do feel like part of me in my brain is like, Feige could fix it.
Oh no. I feel personally, I'm with you. Feige can make that work.
Hmm.
Given enough time that we've already had, anything could have been possible. You could
Yeah.
actually make him be legit. He was
First
rushed
thing,
into that.
give him the mask. Then all the like stunt double shit,
Exactly.
way easier to
Do you remember,
bypass.
remember those cool scenes in Iron Fist where it was showed the past Iron Fist? in the mask.
Yeah, they were dope.
They were the best scenes of
They
Iron
were the
Fist.
easily the best part about
You're
that show.
like, oh, you could get. You mean you can? Wait, are you telling me you can get a stunt actor to be Iron Fist in the mask?
Right. Now, granted, the second season was better,
Way better.
but it was largely because they went, oh, but what if the girl was Iron Fist? Because everybody likes the girl better. So, I mean, that is where they left that off. Maybe they could have Colleen Wing show up. Excuse me,
She was
Colleen
great.
Wing show
I
up as
liked
the
her,
Iron Fist.
and it's true.
I did like
I
her.
liked
If
her.
she showed up in Shang-Chi, I wouldn't be mad at
Nope.
all. I did hear, though, speaking of that, that she was up for the part of the sister
Yep.
in Shang-Chi.
Yep.
And that's crazy to me because that like to me if that's when you're like, okay, what the fuck is this universe? Because the Netflix stuff is already confusing with Cottonmouth being Blade now. So as soon as like even fucking Viola Davis is in Luke Cage and also was in Infinity War. And so I'm like, if she was two different characters in that, so that to me means they go the Netflix universe is like it makes references, but it's not actually connected.
That's
That's what
how
I
I
was
no.
thinking.
That's how I feel it is. The
And
Netflix
then
universe
with
is another variant universe, by the way.
exactly, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
when they started doing Cottonmouth is now Blade, then I was like, that seals the deal on that. But then now they're like, and but Daredevil and Kingpin are back. Then I'm like, okay. This is now where these are the MCU versions of them.
Yes,
That's the thing I want to
in
see
my
Daredevil
eyes.
for to
This
explain
is
that part.
in my eyes. That's what it is. That
But
the Netflix is a variant. It's not. It's not main MCU because they've already screwed that up with the Agents of Shield stuff, the bloody Netflix stuff being, the licensing and all that was all over the place back then. So that's kind of how they had to work it. So in my
mhm,
mind, just to make it cleaner for my mind, I'm not. That's not part of it. When I'm gonna walk into Daredevil, I'm not gonna remember all the stuff. I'm gonna remember all the stuff, but that's not part of what. Unless they show us that that's what happened in the MCU version, I'm not gonna include it. It was cool. It was an awesome take. So it helps
mhm.
us because we're now familiar with the characters and who they are. But those, whatever happened story wise, it might not have happened there. And think about it. Comics do it all the time. The retconning stuff. That's
Yeah,
essentially what it is to me.
same deal.
Yeah.
Same
And
deal.
I'm glad that we do read comics and we're familiar with the whole retconning things because if we didn't, we'd be even more confused.
It's true. I do wonder. I do wonder with some of these, with I guess with Daredevil specifically, if they are going to try and like tie up threads that were left hanging by the
Mm-hmm.
Netflix stuff. Like even though I'm excited for new Daredevil, they want to show like throw new shit at it. Dope, 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 dope. But one of the things I'm like, I will be disappointed if they don't touch on is like Bullseye. I want
Dude,
full Bullseye
Bullseye
now
was
because
sick.
he was dope in that
He
season. He
was
was a
the
dope
one of the
character.
coolest. He's the best version of Bullseye we've gotten.
Oh yeah, and the fight scenes of how they made his shit work. Oh, so good. So fucking good. And they left it off on the like he was already dope, but next time you get Bullseye for
Oh, he's
real.
the real
And
Bullseye next. I want
yeah,
that
and that
Bullseye, man. And also, it'd be
yeah,
such a wasted potential if you don't
true.
get that guy again, get that Bullseye vibe, because Bullseye is one of the main villains for Daredevil. You're not gonna just
It's
not
true.
include him.
And this being like the born again, like here's all the new shit. This is the perfect time to be like, and here's Bullseye with like
Mm-hmm.
his costume
Mm-hmm.
and Daredevil and his new
Update
getup and
that
all this.
yeah, update that costume to actually look like a costume and not just be
Right, because in that
yeah.
season he was just dressed like Daredevil.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah, he
he
was.
stole that costume and fought
But that's
as
why, like, if you
Daredevil.
give him his own costume, like, heck, he could still have the Daredevil costume in a way, but just
Right.
like
Hmm.
mess it, like, do his own thing with it,
And
alter
you
it.
think about that too, it makes sense that Matt, even in the context of the and Netflix stuff, that he would have this new suit because
Mm-hmm.
the Bullseye suit went with Bullseye.
Yep. That's why I'm really
in
curious
that
about.
season
I'm
he was
curious.
fighting in the like all black or whatever, you
I'm
know.
really curious how what this. I can't wait. I love Daredevil.
Right.
You know.
Super stoked for it.
I'm so excited that they're all back. Essentially,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, considering how excited they were
Mm-hmm.
with in those roles.
I hope Karen Page comes back.
Dude, I want
I ho- and
I
I
want all of them.
I hope Foggy
Yeah,
comes back. I want
I
that
want at least
dynamic.
the core crew to
Mm-hmm.
move, because they were fantastic. They to me they were cinematic level on television.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
I still feel that Daredevil might still be one of the best one of the best Marvel shows.
Oh, I fully agree. Fully
It's
agree.
I don't think anything's gotten maybe to that level, but not topped it.
Right. I think that they set a bar
Yeah,
basically.
a very high bar, very early.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact that that was kind of the first thing out the gates. You're like, how the hell are you supposed to maintain this quality?
Right.
It's hard. That's why we compared everything to it. Unfortunately,
But I feel like for a while they were really hitting that mark. Like
sure,
Jessica Jones wasn't the
Jessica
same
Jones,
show, but I feel like it was high quality.
different vibe
Uh,
because a different
Luke
character.
Cage
Yep.
also was a different vibe, but a great use of the character. It was really just Iron Fist, and then the rush to Defenders that
Hmm.
I feel like
I did enjoy
kind
Defenders
of
though.
killed that momentum. I liked Defenders for what it was. I just feel like the my issue with Defenders was the villain was a letdown.
Yes.
It was like the fight for dragon bones under a building,
Yeah.
and like, what are you
It's
talking
like,
about here?
what is this? This
Because
is like an episode of Power Rangers.
yeah, like you had Daredevil season,
Yeah.
Kingpin's breaking people's heads off with a door.
Yeah.
I don't want to see a dragon fight. I
Yeah.
want to see them take
See,
on the mob or
yeah.
something, you know? And they're like fighting 100 gangsters. That's what
Yeah.
I want to see.
Yeah. Take on the
Show them
hand.
fight the Foot Clan.
Yeah.
Exactly. They set up all the shit with the
Yeah.
Foot Clan, and that
Mm-hmm.
was barely part of it. So yeah, I don't know. But I feel like there's a lot of hope with what they did set up because with how monumental the task was to like let's see if we can recreate what the MCU does on
Mm.
TV but with an edge. I feel like they did that. I started rewatching Luke Cage recently. I feel like that show really holds up. I started rewatching Daredevil recently. I feel like that show really holds up. I just feel like they're really good quality and they could have been shithouse. We saw what happened with fucking Inhumans. We
Oh.
saw what happened. We saw what happened with that attempt at what the MCU on TV should be, and it was fairly dog shit. We've seen even other shows that weren't dog shit, but just didn't have the scale. Were things like Cloak and Dagger, which I never saw, but I did see Runaways, and I feel like that was as much as there was people on that cast that I felt like were good, and I felt like there was probably a lot of passion for the project. That wasn't what that Runaways project should have been. Um, there's a
It's
movie version of that with the scale that you need that could have been
or
incredible.
even current MCU television scale.
Exactly.
Which is
I
kind
feel
of
like
it's kind of a shame now because I'm like, man, all these earlier attempts, if they were just made now, knowing what it is now, we
mhm,
could have gone actual build up to something way bigger. Like Inhumans, if you did an Inhumans television show in
mhm,
the MCU television Disney Plus thing, Cloak and Dagger, Runaways,
mhm.
you know?
Because like even Cloak and Dagger and Runaways are supposed to be street level, the same as like a Spider-Man or a Daredevil and stuff like that. And for they weren't for the whole time, but they've had stories in New York. They were mostly West Coast based, but they've had stories in New York where they interacted with
Mm-hmm,
Spider-Man,
mm-hmm,
where they interacted with Cloak and
mm-hmm.
Dagger. I think they even did a crossover on a TV show because of that connection.
Yeah.
But seeing something like that in the proper, like
Mm-hmm.
this shit is connected to the MCU, it would feel different. Like these Disney Plus shows feel different automatically
Yep.
than those Hulu
Oh,
shows do. Like
instantly.
we know this is part of it,
Exactly. I think
you
just
know.
knowing that it's part of it, you automatically place your mind there. Even if the tones, like the Ms. Marvel's tone, isn't really like
Hmm.
most MCU movies, but we know
Right,
it's part of that universe solely because we know it's part of the universe.
right.
That
They've
alone
they've
already places it there.
they've established the rules well.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's just interesting to me how instantly shows like Miss Marvel and stuff, we read those as this is part of it. This goes on to the next thing. Whereas shows like Agents of Shield, where they literally had like Sam Jackson show up and Sif show up, still never felt like they were
It
really
still
part of
feels
it.
disconnected.
Right.
Like, which is kind of a shame because, especially knowing how long that show lasted, all the
Right.
characters they introduced in that show, like, I want that
Hmm.
Ghost Rider back.
Right. That Ghost Rider was great. I hope they do something
I
with that
want that Ghost
character.
Rider back. Because, like, if you want a
Hmm.
modern Ghost, you can have the beauty about Ghost Riders. You can have multiple Ghost Riders. That's the thing. So,
I don't think we mentioned it before, but speaking of that, in I think the first trailer, the one everybody was dogging on for She-Hulk, or maybe the second one where they said they updated the effects or whatever. But one of them, there's a scene where they really quickly flash on like a poster in the background that says Johnny Blaze on it
okay.
and has like a dude jumping or something and explosions or some
Well, he's
shit.
a stuntman.
He is a stuntman, so but it's only confusing. It's only confusing if they're not setting up something new because they have technically shown us Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider exist already when they showed us the Robbie Reyes Ghost Rider
In
in
Shield.
Agents of Shield.
Yes.
When they showed his origin story, you see Johnny Blaze Ghost Rider like stand over
I
him, and it was kind
love
of
that.
wicked.
That was so cool.
So I
Give me
am
Robbie
very
Reyes.
curious. I wouldn't be surprised if that character shows up in something like whatever the Moon Knight character shows up in next.
That's where I want him in.
Right.
Because if they're doing the whole, because again, MCU is going to be split in a way where there's like three
Hmm.
divisions almost, multiple
Right.
divisions. Got the street, you got the cosmic, you've got the magic,
Supernatural.
supernatural.
Right.
Johnny Blaze is supernatural.
Oh yeah.
That's just, I mean,
Just makes sense.
Moon Knight Blade. Throw him
But
in.
for them to set that up in She-Hulk is interesting.
Yeah. Either way, good stuff. Can't wait. Next
What
stuff.
else we got?
D23. We're doing Disney stuff. May as well.
So this one was the thing about the game.
Not just a game. I mean, D23, the expo's next month.
Yeah,
Big budget. Yeah, you said big budget. Fantastic Four game.
yeah. So there's rumors that this, I think it's what is it, Skyward? What is it
Sky.
in the
You
notes?
typed in Skydance.
Skydance Studios is making a game, and they said it's supposed to be an ensemble title.
Okay.
So people are speculating that that means Fantastic Four. It doesn't automatically mean that, but people are like, Who else
X
do you
Men.
do as an ensemble? I think X-Men would be if they put out a big budget X-Men movie or X-Men game would be Banana Town.
Because
That would be
it'd be a
crazy.
nice like war testing ground for. Because a lot of the games, it's almost not real world necessarily, not MCU. Like look at the Spider-Man game. It's very realistic. It's not necessarily
Right,
the
but it's
MCU
its own.
version. Exactly. So it'd be nice, hey, this is what we could, maybe ish do.
They
But
are doing a Wolverine game,
yeah, I
the
remember
same
that.
studio that did the Spider-Man thing, so maybe there's some truth to an X-Men thing. That I didn't think X-Men only because they have that Wolverine game coming
Mm-mm.
out, but there's a whole lot of characters not being touched, and that is quite the ensemble, the
Very.
X-Men. That's a lot more than four fucking people.
Four is good though because it's a
Um,
night. It's not too much. It's not too bad.
right. It's not going overboard.
Yeah.
It's an easier thing to
Mm-hmm.
tackle
Mm-hmm.
than 100,000 fucking. The X-Men are like Pokemon at this point.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Um,
There's a lot.
so yeah, I don't know. I hope it's something cool. I know that I've also heard there's a big budget Black Panther game coming out from another studio. I think it was EA or something.
Okay.
So it's great that they're throwing money at Marvel's games because they've always been a part of my childhood, but they usually weren't great.
Other than Spider-Man.
Um, Other than Spider-Man, but I was already a fucking
Mm-hmm.
adult by the time that game
That's
came
true.
out.
That's true. That's true.
Had to waddle through a lot of shit to get to Spider-Man PS4. But yeah, I'm excited for this. D23 in general,
Oh yeah,
uh, it's gonna be nuts.
it's their thing. It's just Disney. They're gonna be throwing so much stuff at us there.
Oh yeah, I feel like that
So much
that
stuff. That's
the
an episode
rest
onto
of the
itself.
slate. Exactly. The
Yeah.
rest of the like slate they didn't show at San Diego Comic-Con. I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bunch of that get filled in
You know for
at
a fact, dude,
D23.
that in San Diego they weren't showing shit because they've
Right.
got their own
Especially not
con.
the
Yeah,
Disney shows.
they've
I feel
got
like
their own.
that stuff will stay there.
Absolutely, they're gonna go fully on this thing.
I'm hoping that means maybe some sort of like different announce. I guess they announced Thunderbolts was a thing, but I was hoping that they would like say who's on the team or something like that. But maybe that's a bit spoilery at
But
this
maybe
point
they
in the
might.
road.
Maybe they might show who the first few are, and then obviously not tease everybody.
Right. I
Either
know
way, man.
they've got a whole
D23.
nother 2 years of shows they've
Oh,
got to tell us about, so that'll be cool. What
yep.
else we got?
We got, since we're sticking to D23 and Marvel type stuff, we got Madam Web.
So this one's confusing to me, dude. I've heard that she's playing because there's been multiple characters that take over the role of Madam Web. I believe she's playing the Cassandra Webb version, which is a much younger character. It's not the old lady that everybody knows from the cartoon. Um, Adam Scott, however, from what I have been hearing rumor wise, is playing Ben Parker.
As in,
Uh,
Uncle.
as an Uncle Ben. However, there's also a character. I can't remember the actress's name. Should have wrote it down, but she's playing a character who's been seen on set pregnant, and the speculation that she's playing not May Parker, but Mary Parker, Peter's mom. So I'm not sure if Uncle Ben is gonna be like dad now in this universe or
Or like the
something.
brother of her.
Right. Like I don't know how that part of the story is going to work, but I've heard that there's also the character Aranya has been cast and is in
Ooh.
this movie.
Okay.
Another character that has been a version of Madam Web, but has also been Spider Woman is in it. So that's two like versions of Girl or Spider Woman. But I've heard that the story is going to be a bunch of like female spider-ish characters that come together in a sort of Terminator-like story to protect the unborn Peter Parker. It's going to be like a
This is
Spider-Verse thing.
wild.
Spider-Verse cross Terminator.
This is wild. What you're describing actually has me more interested
Right. It's weird
because
enough
it's
for
it's
me to be like, huh.
exactly that's what I mean. It's out there enough to make me go, that's worth checking out. It's you know what it sounds like. That's why
Hmm.
risks.
Right. It's definitely risks, but I don't Sony's
Oh, I don't
choices are
care. No,
just
no.
so
Yeah, you know.
fucking weird.
Are they still doing that stupid fucking wrestler thing?
As far as I've heard.
Yeah, I hate that. I don't know who that is.
It's a Bad Bunny or whatever.
No, as in I don't know who the character is.
Oh, it was like El Muerto.
Garbage. Al garbage. Don't care. That's dumb. They're doing Craven. They finished filming that. Why?
Yeah, I don't know that, and I keep hearing like he's an animal lover and he's like spiritually connected to the world or whatever. I'm like, yeah, but he's supposed to want to kill the animals and kill Spider-Man because of that.
Yeah, I don't. I
It's
don't know.
such just weird choices, dude. And this shit, it's interesting because who would have thought they'd be doing like a Terminator thing with baby Peter Parker? But even more so, I'm like, is this gonna be actually connected to anything, or is this them like throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks? But I feel like it's one of the two. And even showing her also dressed as a paramedic, I'm like, is she supposed to be meeting him in the story and like pretending to be a paramedic? Or does she become Madam Web in this movie? Like, where are we jumping into the story, I wonder, as far as the Lady Spider characters. Um, it's just a weird thing. Hopefully it turns into something, but I imagine it's going to be dog shit like most of Sony's solo
I like
Spider-Man
Adam
thing.
Scott, so but I don't know. Again,
I like him, but mostly when he's singing high. I feel like that's mostly
he's
when I
great in
like him.
Parks and Rec.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how that turns out. What else we got?
We got the Wednesday.
Okay, so the Wednesday, this was the first official image they dropped, and
His hair
then
is so silly.
a trailer dropped shortly after.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gomez's hair is killing me. I fucking hate it. I hated the choice of Guzman as Gomez immediately just because Gomez in my brain, yeah, he's
It's
supposed to be weird, but he's supposed to be like kind of dashing and charming. Like I felt like he looks, I guess, sort of more like
old school.
the old cartoon drawings or whatever,
Fully.
but really Raul Julia
Oh,
had the
yeah.
like big buggy
Yeah.
eyes, and I just feel like there was something that like even when they cast Oscar Isaac for the animated version, I was like that makes sense to me. Like he
Oscar Isaac
visually
would have
makes
been
sense to me.
great. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's
Yeah.
like
Because he's short. He's
everybody,
got that
almost
shorter.
everybody. Exactly. He's
Yeah.
little and shit. The profile is there, and I think they everybody that they cast for that live or for the animated thing pretty much would have worked
Mm,
in live action.
that's
I think they
true.
had like Nick Kroll as Uncle Fester,
Yeah.
and Charlize Theron I think was
Oh,
Morticia.
dude, Nick Kroll as Fester would be phenomenal. In live
Yeah, it'd be
action, it would
hilarious.
be
It,
great.
yeah, it'd be fucking hilarious.
Uh,
But I like the cast they've got.
yeah.
Otherwise, I think or not, is it Zeta Jones?
Mm-hmm.
Zeta Jones, right? Her as Morticia, inspired choice.
Yeah.
I feel like she basically looks like Angelica Houston looked in those old movies.
Mm-hmm.
She aged into this role
Oh, it
perfectly.
was almost like, yeah, she's gonna be perfect for it.
The chick that they got to play Wednesday,
Yeah.
she seems like she's got the mannerisms
Mm-hmm.
down. Basically, just pretend to be Aubrey Plaza or whatever.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen I haven't seen the what is it, Pugsley or whatever. I
Pugsley.
haven't seen him in any of the scenes really yet,
Oh,
but I don't know. He seems fine. Pugsley always seems like kind of a nothing character.
yeah.
I like to blow shit up.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it looks like something.
Yeah.
I thought it looked better than I was kind of expecting it to be
Yes.
for a Netflix direct thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Tim Burton, so that could have gone either way, but I'm glad it doesn't look like the fucking Monsters movie because that thing
Oh
looked
yeah.
like horseshit.
The thing about Tim Burton though is that it could still go one or the other
Oh
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
it could still be either
Yeah.
one.
It's such
I just watched
a risk.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory for the first time. I'd never seen it before because I always in my brain the Gene Wilder version is it.
Oh,
Why would you even fuck
it
with it?
still is, by the way.
But I was watching it with someone who grew up with the depth version
Okay.
and and that is their version to them. They loved it, knew all the songs and dances and shit. And I'm like, what the like I just hated
Willy
it the
Wonka,
whole time.
Willy Wonka. I hate
I
that. Yeah, I hate it. Dude, whenever they go, oh, those songs, I'm like, dude, no, 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 no. The original songs are untouchable, bro.
Oh yeah, you can't fuck with those. You can't fuck with
Nah,
those,
they're
dude.
untouchable. Like, I'm sorry. You
Yeah.
can't. You can't. Also, Depp's Wonka.
No, that like fake Michael Jackson shit, I fucking hated it, dude. It was just like I get how someone in their brain would go, "Oh, what's a modern day Willy Wonka type character? Michael Jackson." That makes sense. However, don't ruin the Willy Wonka character with this stupid
Nah.
ass fucking idea.
Don't actually do it.
I hated it so
Yeah.
bad. And
Okay.
like his version of like Wonka was always like whimsical but menacing.
Yes.
The depth version of Wonka was like aiming for whimsy, but was just weird, and
It
then
was
was passive
awkward.
aggressive.
Yes. Oh, incredibly passive aggressive.
Yeah, he was mean to people, but it wasn't the same as the like menacing thing that the other Wonka had of like I'm here to do this magical wonderful thing, but people are dying around me and I am nonchalant about it. It
Hmm.
does not factor into me that that is a problem. This is
I'm
just
gonna
part
blow
of the
my little
process.
whistle.
Exactly.
You know. You know, it's like I'm just gonna, I'm gonna roll them off. I'm gonna get my little oompas.
Do you think that thing is a thing you could actually make a whistle that makes anything
I
out of that?
would
This
love
little
it.
stick?
I would
Because
love
if you
it,
could get one of those, I would use
dude.
that in fucking everyday
That's
conversation
that's a
all the time.
pocket thing. You bring it everywhere, dude. How would you not?
Fucking,
I'm done with this convo.
dude.
Walk away.
Yeah. Fucking dinner's
Walk
ready.
away.
Oh shit, I
I
wish.
love that. I love
Anyway,
that.
this looks cool to me.
It does.
Uh it's bonkers to me that it looks like it's supposed to be a high school or something, and she goes to a private school of like
Yeah.
kids that are more weird.
As weird, if not, yeah, just weird. Weird at school, like a
Right.
private school. Because like obviously in the trailer or in the teaser, they showed that that's where her parents met.
Right. You're going to strange
Yeah,
goth kid high school
goth
or
kid
whatever.
school where there's other
Uh
strange goth kids.
right. Which
Other
is
Tim
fine.
Burton kids.
Right,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. It kind of looks like it's connected to that thing he tried to do where it was like the X-Men or whatever. I never saw that movie, but it was like it had Sam Jackson in it, and like it was like some school for like weird mutant kids that have powers
Sure,
and shit.
maybe
But
it's his gateway to that.
I can't remember what the fuck the name of that
It
movie
doesn't
was, but it was
matter.
basically like Tim Burton's fucking
Okay,
X-Men.
that'd be the
Um,
weirdest Tim Burton's X-Men.
bro, I'm gonna have to find that trailer
Yeah.
because I never saw the movie, but I heard from people
Would you
that it was
watch the
all right.
movie?
Sure,
You want to do
I
some
have to watch
homework?
that. Yeah, maybe that'd be an obscure one to do in a review on.
Okay.
But anyway, this one looks cool. What else we
Yeah.
got?
We got well, this is just a date announcement picture, but Cobra Kai season
Right.
5. The trailer
Yeah,
dropped.
Cobra Kai 5 trailer. Uh, I've been recently rewatching this uh with someone with fresh eyes
Mm-hmm.
who's not seen it.
Yeah. What are their thoughts? It's funny because
It's
it's
so
like, why are
great
they
to
breaking
watch
down
with someone.
fights? Yeah.
It's so great to watch with someone who has no connection to the old movies because then they're just coming it on to it as Johnny Lawrence is the protagonist and the LaRusso is an ass or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you don't know the old movies at all, you're just coming in from that perspective. They do a good job of showing you both sides,
Yeah. Yeah.
but it's so good to see someone just completely buy into it.
That's good. That's good in a way.
But yeah, we're almost all the way caught up at this point. We're
Are you
on
are
the
you
fourth
guys
season.
looking forward to season 5?
Oh yeah, and
Because
it
I
comes
know,
out soon too.
yeah,
It's like
it ends.
September.
I think season 6 is the final. They already wrote that out.
I think that's good
Yeah,
because there's not
more you can do.
there's there's not that much more you can do. You've only got so much more
Hmm.
fucking landscape.
Hmm.
And with season 5 coming out and they've got fucking Kreese and they've got Silver,
Yeah,
the only other person they could bring in from that little group is his like pupil, his Johnny Lawrence, Silver's like kid, because he didn't fight Johnny in the movie with
no,
Silver. He fought some other like flat top
yeah,
kid.
yeah,
So they could bring that guy back as like I'm the super aggro student
yeah.
from the past that's like
Season
evil
6 guy.
Johnny. So I could see that happening. But other than that, because they always said like they consider this the Miyagi verse, so anyone who was connected to Miyagi is fair game. So they wouldn't do like Jaden Smith and
Good,
Jackie Chan,
good.
but they would do like Hilary Swank if she
Oh
wanted to play.
yeah.
And so that'd be a hell of a final season get if you could
Wow,
just get
that
her to
would be a
show up.
big get.
Yeah, of like have her join Miyagi-Do just on
Hmm.
like the last episode of like we've got a new sensei and
Yeah.
you don't even have to have her
Yep.
do fucking
No,
anything.
that'd be great. It'd be a
And just
nice. Hey, what a
everybody
nice
line up for the
bookend.
crane kick, you're
What
done,
a
you
nice
know?
bookend. I'm shocked.
Exactly.
I'll be honest. I'm shocked that they're gonna get 6 seasons out of this. It's amazing. And
Six
shocked in a
seasons
good
of that
way.
movie,
Shocked in a
man.
good way, by the way. Like
Oh yeah.
what an What an awesome thing! Like, who'd have thought that you can actually do a show based on an old movie franchise and actually be good?
And good in such a specific way because this show could have been anything, but they got such a specific tone,
Yep.
and the tone just works for this. I don't know if I would watch too many other shows with this show's tone, but for some reason on this one it
It
just
works.
works.
I don't know how it works, but it does.
Yeah, yeah.
And it got new audiences that, again, weren't even attached to the previous films at all.
Hmm.
So that's some wild stuff. Oh yeah, we got a couple more things actually. Cancelled.
So this isn't happening anymore. That's kind of banana town to me. Um, just about a couple weeks ago, they announced that this movie was just outright. They're not going to release it, not on Disney Plus or not Disney Plus, not on HBO
HBO
Max.
Max.
They're not in theatrical. They said it wasn't. They deemed it not big enough for a theatrical release, but not small enough for to justify putting it on the streaming
That
platform.
seems really dumb.
Yeah, and it seems fucking weird too because it had Keaton Batman in it.
Not
Like, how do
small
you make a
enough,
choice like that and then like that's not big enough for the big screen to
but
have
also
Keaton Batman show up?
that excuse of it's not small enough for the streaming service. That is the stupidest thing. Not
I think they
small
were
enough.
thinking like not a big enough draw for the streaming service to create new subscribers. Because like I don't think that they thought people were going to be signing on to
But would
see
it
the
cost them to
Batgirl.
put it on streaming service though?
No, but they get to write it off on their tax. They get to write this completely off on their taxes if they don't release it at all, and that's what
What a
they
write
decided to
off,
go for.
man. Dang.
They spent 90 million
Yeah.
so far on it, and so I don't know. I'm really hopeful that we still get to see Blue Beetle. It sounds like we still are, um, but yeah, R.I.P. fucking the Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
I heard that they're still trying to talk to her, like maybe she could show up as this character in other stuff. But I think they're, for now at least, they're not
Yeah.
doing this. So pretty crazy. It was the same directors as Miss Marvel. The
Weird.
same, yeah. And so like you would think that they'd have a lot of play right now, and
Guess not
apparently not.
enough. Guess not enough.
Also, speaking of the DC stuff, CW Flash is going to get a final season. They're
Ninth.
getting their ninth season is going to be their final one, and they're cutting it short. It's only going to be like 13 episodes
13
instead of their normal
episodes.
like 22 or whatever.
Nine
So
seasons, man. Good on him.
that's plenty. And honestly, like for me, that show peaked in like season 2 or 3. So they really milked it for as much as they could milk it, and they got to some crazy stuff like the Crisis on Infinite Earths and all that, or on Earth X or whatever it was called. They got to do some pretty banana stuff. That CW, even though the quality was less and it was more soap opera, they were basically the closest thing DC has had to the
I
MCU. The
know, which
shows
is,
were
isn't
all
it weird?
connected to each other. They had
Yeah.
a big giant event where all the characters showed up and successfully made this work for 9 years.
I know.
Even Flash is a spin-off of Arrow that
I
got
know.
7 seasons.
Which also got
So,
another spin off, which is the Legions. Legion of Superheroes.
right. And another one too with the girl Arrows, but
Yeah, I don't know if that one
I
hit.
don't know if that one went anywhere. But either way, they spun this off crazily well uh into some stuff that's still going. Superman and Lois is part of this universe and is still going. So good for them, man. I think everybody's probably going to be pretty satisfied on the Flash with wrapping it up after 9 seasons. How could you be mad at that? Ezra Miller Flash, on the other hand, supposedly this is still happening. There was a report a couple weeks ago that said like we're gonna take we have 3 plans of action. One is Ezra Miller comes out and apologizes for his crazy shit and then goes to get help, and then we put the movie out on schedule. Two, Ezra Miller fucks it up and we count it as a loss and kind of because they can't reshoot it because he plays multiple characters and then he's in almost every scene in the movie. So, and from all reports, the movie's actually good. What they have is actually good.
Okay.
So they want to put it out, and they spent 200 million on this. This
Yeah.
is not a 90 million
Yeah.
dollar. Well, fuck it.
Still, dude, 90 million is a lot. Anyway, but yeah,
It is a lot, but
it's not 200 million.
clearly
Yeah.
it's not 200 million.
No, no.
So, and this one also has Keaton Batman
Hmm.
in it, and they were clearly making some kind of a move there. So I really want to see how this works. Also, in the Batgirl movie, it had uh, J.K. Simmons was in it as Gordon. So
They're going
it
all
raises
over.
even more, yeah, it raises even more questions in my mind of like, okay, so you're using the Snyderverse version of Gordon, but you've got a brown girl, Batgirl, who's still the daughter of Commissioner Gordon, or is
Maybe
she
in,
biracial in this movie,
yeah,
or
maybe.
like what is like maybe that's the plan, but it definitely seemed like they were leaning on this would be the Batgirl for the Twilight Batman
Mm.
universe because you got a brown Jim Gordon in that
Mm,
movie.
mm, mm.
Apparently not the case, but it also seems like they were just going all over the place. Supergirl was going to show up in this. Now she's not going to get a debut. Now Batgirl's not going to get a debut. Canceled both of those girls in
DC
one
are
movie.
so all over the place.
Yeah, dude. And everything's getting cut up. So I'm hopeful for Blue Beetle. I want to see that one just because I think the costume looks cool and I like the kid, the Zolo, whatever from Cobra Kai.
Yep.
So, I want to see that one happen. But I have you seen did you actually read the apology he put out?
Yeah, sort of.
And so he was just like, I'm sorry I scared people. I'm gonna go to therapy
Yeah.
about it. But didn't really address the like, I choked a woman out
No, no, no.
and
I'm
I
not going to
threw a
address all
chair
that.
at
Yeah, yeah.
someone.
I've got a sickness.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, I got mental issues going on, so I gotta get that sorted.
Yeah, so really curious how this one resolves.
Yeah.
I think that movie's supposed to come out early next year.
Who knows anymore, man?
So I don't know. I want to see this sooner than later, though. Just
Yeah.
let's hurry up and get it out so we can not be talking about it anymore.
Exactly. The fact that we're still talking about it is like, wait a second, wasn't this thing supposed to be out already or something? I don't even.
Yeah, they announced the Flash movie in like 2014. They
That's
announced the Flash movie the same year the Flash TV show came out.
that show is ending.
Yeah, that show's ending after 9 seasons, and the
Also,
movie is still not out yet.
how they didn't just cast that guy, I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean they would have saved themselves some
Well,
heartache.
way. Last thing is it's a Top Gun Maverick.
So Top Gun is just kicking ass for some
It's not on
reason.
this top 10.
It's not on this top 10.
No,
This
no.
is the currently top 10 highest grossing, but it is fastly
Yeah.
approaching into the top 10 here. And this is worldwide grossing. Uh
Domestic,
I
it's
think in the
already.
domestic grossing, yeah, it's way
It's
up there
already.
already.
But worldwide grossing, like let's look at this top 10. You got Avatar number 1.
Are you
Great.
surprised Avatar's still up there?
A little.
They've re-released it a couple
They
times
have.
to,
It
to
came out
make this happen.
what's actually surprising to me is that it came out 2009
Right.
and we
And
have the
then
new one, the sequel coming out
after
this year.
right, and after Endgame came out in 2019 apparently here, they re-released Avatar again to re-get their shit back
And guess
because
what? They still
Endgame
made
finally beat
more.
it. Yeah, they still did it.
And you know what?
They
I have a
still did it.
feeling before this new sequel, they'll just re-release it again because
True. And before Endgame, like the only thing that was competing with James Cameron was James Cameron with the other
yeah,
Titanic movie. Now you got Force Awakens up there, Infinity War, Spider-Man No Way Home, which is crazy to see that
I love it.
so high up
I
there.
love it.
I
It's in
love that
top
it's up
10.
there,
Yeah,
but
it's in
it's
top 10.
bananas. Jurassic World is a big surprise to me that
Yes.
movie's as big as it is in current day times.
Over Jurassic
The
Park.
Lion King, exactly. The Lion King as well. The Avengers out like 2012. I'm surprised that's not higher up on the list just because of how crazy that milestone is.
To me, The Lion King is kind of annoying because I'm like, it's the remake Lion King.
Right. But you know it only made those numbers because of how
Oh, a
beloved
thousand
the
percent.
original is.
Exactly, exactly.
You know,
Furious 7. How?
I like I want to try and not hate on these
I
movies
can't.
because I know a lot of people love them,
Oh,
but they're
a
just
lot of
I
people put
just
work
don't.
into them.
They do, and
It's also a
I get that they're
multicultural
like
cast.
it is. It's like GI Joe or whatever, and that's neat. It's just weird to think of it like if to just think of the multiverse equivalent of this movie, like Fast and the Furious was basically like them trying to redo Point Break. What if Point Break just kept going
I
and
know.
turned into this kind of crazy fucking
All
bullshit?
Point Break needed was cars.
Right? If they just were like, now we're going into space on a surfboard or whatever.
I
Now
would
we're
watch
skydiving
that.
from Jupiter.
I want
Yeah,
to surf the moon.
exactly. Yeah, it's bananas.
But
So
past that, Frozen 2.
Age of Ultron and Top Gun Maverick right there at 13, which puts it higher than Black Panther, which is bananas. That's crazy in my brain.
Higher than
Uh,
Harry Potter, the last one.
Last Jedi, which was the end of a franchise, basically, which is bananas to me. More Jurassic World. People fucking love dinosaurs in the
Yeah,
future,
who'd
which
have
is
thought?
crazy to me.
Frozen.
uh, Frozen 1, the remake of Beauty and the Beast, which makes me gag, and Incredibles 2, which is also pretty bananas that made it on there.
Looking at
And that it
this
even happened.
20. Yeah, dude, especially that late. Looking at the
Yeah.
from 11 to 20 is wild
hmm
because it shows some weird varieties. Lots of sequels
Oh, yeah. And Disney is all over it.
all over there. All over there. The
Yeah.
fact that a Star Wars sequel is in there, one of the there's the later sequels, a Jurassic World sequel's in there, which people didn't even like,
Yeah. Go to the go
supposedly.
to the go to the first 10 again, because there was 7 out of 10 on that one.
There's the first 10
And 7 out of the first 10 as well. That's
of
crazy.
Disney.
Disney's got, yeah, 7 out of 10 out of the they've 14 out of the top fucking 20 is bananas.
How Disney?
That's just the train they're rolling on now. It's pretty crazy.
Is Spider-Man No Way Home Sony? Sony. That's not Disney.
I guess that counts more as Sony, but because it's MCU, I still put it in with
It's more of a
Disney
half
shit.
half. Although, yeah,
It's a Disney property,
yes,
even if Sony has the licensing.
yeah. But that one,
Yeah, pretty
Disney,
nuts, man.
Disney, Universal, Disney,
I'm like
Warner
I'm
Brothers,
assuming,
Disney, Universal is Top Gun
yeah, I
or
think
Warner
so.
Brothers.
Might be Warner
I think it's Warner
Brothers.
Brothers. Disney. That's dumb. That's dumb.
Crazy. And like I think Top Gun, the crazy thing about that is we were talking about before we got on, just how simple that movie is as a concept.
Hmm.
And like they don't even tell you who the enemy is. They just be like, we gotta go fight this bad guy,
We have
and
an enemy.
it's somewhere random, and we gotta do this real specific thing to make it happen. All you need to know, there's a little tiny little bit of like some hint at a love story, a little tiny little bit of hints at some characters from the past, lots of like slow mo dudes on the beach,
Flexing.
all the good
Yeah,
stuff.
flex on the beach because that's part of it.
Could
It's a
you imagine how popular a scene like that volleyball scene would be if it was just the Avengers kicking it?
dude. Yeah, it would be.
How much material you get out of those guys just fucking Cap doing fucking the
Dude,
silly dance or whatever?
people would make gifs. People
Oh
would
yeah, man.
love it
Oh
because
yeah.
that's the actual downtime of characters. People
Mm.
like.
Yeah, think of how much they loved just that one little throwaway scene in Age of Ultron where they're all trying to pick up the hammer. That's like the only time we got to see the Avengers just casually
I
hang out.
would love half an hour of that.
Oh yeah. Well, hopefully we get to see some more casual hangouts in She-Hulk.
Yeah, well, I'm sure, but like not involving that many
Yeah, it won't
Avengers.
be all the
Yeah.
Avengers, but
You'd have Bruce, maybe.
have Bruce and apparently a cavalcade of random people are gonna show up. Frogman,
Oh, dude, Power
you
Ranger
know.
Frogman, nice.
I'm excited for
I'm
that.
keen on that, man. That's cool.
And She-Hulk comes out tonight, so maybe we can record another one if you're gonna be up to watch that one at midnight or whatever. Maybe we can record one right after or something and
Maybe.
throw them up together.
Yeah, yeah. Like a back-to-back.
All right,
Yep.
but I think that's everything. So until the next one, guys, stay chipper chaps.
Stay chipper.
What up, Chip and Chap? This is Chip and Chap Chap.